Welcome back to another episode of Consciously Clueless. I'm your host, Carly, and I'll be your guide on this journey from consciousness to cluelessness and back around again. Thanks for joining me for another Sunday solo episode. Whether it's Sunday night and you're getting ready for your week, Monday morning and you're on your way to work, or whatever day this podcast has found you, I'm really glad you're here. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness, or is it preventing you from achieving your goals? By now, you all know that therapy is an important part of my self-care. It has truly been a game changer in every aspect of my life. BetterHelp is the largest online counseling platform worldwide. They are changing the way people get help with facing life's challenges by providing convenient, discreet, and affordable access to a licensed therapist. BetterHelp makes professional counseling available anytime, anywhere, through a computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can start communicating within 48 hours. It's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it is professional counseling done securely online. And I have a special offer for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Carly and join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. By using this code, you get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Carly. Take care of yourself today. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast. Okay, everybody, get excited. We're talking sustainability again. Woo! I know. So, 2 episodes ago, I talked about my number one thing to think about when you are starting to get interested in more of an eco-friendly or sustainable lifestyle, kind of starting to use those plastic-free swaps or wherever you're at in the journey of being more conscious of how you kind of walk through the earth. So, I want to do a few episodes here and there on some of my favorite ways to do that in hopes that will inspire you to try some new sustainable practices in your life. So today's episode is about being more sustainable on the go. This is the first area of my life where I made a few purchases and swaps early on when I started learning about why I should care about the environment. So on the go, I've got 5 of my kind of top ones that are always with me for the most part, and it has made such a difference and has prevented me from using a lot of single-use plastic. Now, I'm not perfect, I have forgotten things or, life happens, but if you keep these things around that I'm about to share, I guarantee you can make a few less plastic things go to landfill. So, the first thing is a reusable shopping bag. These are everywhere now, actually to the point where it's kind of a problem because there are so many bags being made out of cotton and polyester, which is just plastic anyway, and people are losing them or whatever. Anyway, I digress. I don't mean to give them a bad rap because here I am telling you that you should have one, but I'm just saying, don't go nuts. You probably don't need 15 reusable bags, as cute as they are when you're at the checkout of another place or it has its name on it or whatever it is. Just keep a reusable bag in your car. If you carry a bag or a purse on you during the day, keep it in there. They get the ones that fold up into itself, and it's so small. It's so doable to throw in a backpack or a purse or in your car. The next one is a mug or some sort of container with a lid, so a water bottle or a mug. I think a mug for me because I'm usually leaving the house with tea, but if you are out and about during your day, especially if you're traveling, you can refill it with water or get coffee or tea wherever you're at, and you'll always have some sort of drinking vessel. Again, great in your purse, your backpack, or if you are not someone who carries a bag on them during the day, put a little thing in your car, a little basket, a little bag, whatever it is, a spot where you keep a few of these things in your car or wherever makes sense to you so you know where these things are and you can get them when you need to when you are out and about. I have already said that twice this episode. I am showing my Minnesotanness here. I digress again. So the next thing, we've got our reusable bag for obvious reasons, a mug or a water bottle of some sort. The next thing is a reusable smaller bag. So when I said shopping bag before, that's like what you go to Target with and load your groceries up. If you've ever heard of a stasher bag, it's the brand stasher, or any reusable plastic or silicone bag that are becoming more and more popular. I keep one of those, if I can remember, in my purse because you never know if you go out to eat. You can bring leftovers home in them, which at first, if you feel weird putting your leftovers in your own bag, it's not that big of a deal. But you can use it for that. You can use it for a snack. If you have a dog you can bring treats with or whatever it is, they can be used for anything. Maybe something spills in your bag, you throw it in there. It's just really nice to have a bag that seals that you can rinse out and use again. The next one is utensils. I think I talked a million years ago on the podcast about the zero waste things you don't really need to do. And one of them is to buy a bunch of new shit. I totally did that. I fell for it. I bought a cute bamboo utensil set. I still have them. I still love them. And I still use them because I'll use them as long as I can. But I definitely could have just taken a fork and a knife from the drawer in my kitchen and put them in a bag. And that would have been okay. So you could literally, again, whether you're keeping this in some sort of bag or purse or backpack or your car, just put some forks and a spoon somewhere and you will be amazed at how many times you don't have to use single-use plastic by having those on hand. This is, maybe it's 6 technically, but this is like a 4.5 on the list because to me they go hand in hand, but I always have a straw in that little utensil bag as well. I like drinking out of a straw. If you don't care about straws, you don't need it. That's okay. That's another thing you don't need to buy. But I did really want straws when I started going zero waste and not plastic ones. So I have some metal ones and I throw one in my bag because you just never know and it's nice to have. Last but certainly not least is my trusty napkin. I always have a napkin with me, whether you need to blow your nose unexpectedly or you are crying at an Instagram video in public, just me maybe, okay? Whether you are actually eating out and you can just use that napkin instead of going to grab a bunch of single-use napkins, whatever it is, something like that in your bag or in your little to-go kit that we are creating here today, you are going to use that in so many ways. You'll thank me later. I promise on that one. You'll thank me later for always having a napkin. People used to have napkins and handkerchiefs on them all the time. So we're just bringing it back and going a little more sustainable with it. Those are my top 5, kind of 5.5 suggestions for how to slowly transition to make your to-go routine or when you're traveling or your purse or whatever it is a little bit more sustainable. I hope some of those tips were helpful for you. If you want more of this in other areas of your life or there's more about this topic that would feel useful to you, please let me know. Thanks for listening to another episode of Consciously Clueless. If you enjoyed that episode, hit subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a review so other people can find out about this show too. If you really want to help me get this into the ears of more listeners, send it to a friend, text it to a family member, share on social media. Whatever you can do really helps me out. And finally, if you haven't checked out patreon.com/consciouslycarly, I don't know what you're doing. Go over there for yoga videos, a meditation recording every month. There's vegan tips and recipes, behind the scenes podcast stuff, and so much more. Until next time.